Hello, Euphorians. She's beauty and she's grace. She's Miss United fucking States. Maddy Perez, our queen of spillin' chili and getting silly, calling out suburb moms and dropping C-bombs. This episode, we truly get the full scoop on Maddy's upbringing, her toxic relationship with Nate, and her ability to win our hearts despite her complicated character traits. We are chomping at the bit to pour this tea, so grab your drinks or your blunts if you're still celebrating 420, and let's get euphoric. Hello, everyone. We're back. We are back in action, and nothing in our personal life has changed. We are still living day to day in this quarantine. I think everyone can relate, right, Alex? Like, am I right?
I mean, I don't know if everyone can relate, but people in New York definitely can, and probably like Korea and Italy.
Yeah, I just mean like our life right now is very mundane, like day to day. Like we're having a lot of fun, but like nothing like exciting or life changing has happened this week.
No, not really.
I see you racking your brain trying to think of something, but like there's literally nothing.
Oh, we do have we got some new listeners from some new countries. We got people from
Brazil,
like Bolivia and Brazil,
Kuwait,
the
UK,
shout out. Love it.
Canada. The list just keeps growing.
I love seeing this international representation. It's great.
We really are so excited, and we can't say it enough. We truly are appreciating our listeners. Like, you all are the fucking best. Your DMs, your like insight, your feedback, incredible. We don't have a bad thing to say. Like, this has been such a good experience. So like, please keep sharing the word though. Like, it is so, I can't express this more. This is like the most important thing to stay on top of is euphoric news until season 2 is released. I mean, I think if you're listening, like, you can relate. Like, this is so important. So like, make sure you share it with your friends, family, your pets, whatever. Like, yeah,
whatever.
Just listen and like join in this community. It's so great. But you know what? Even though our lives have been so fucking boring, it definitely has not been boring this week in the euphoric world.
Hit us with the updates.
Well, I'll let you take it away because we have a huge update on a possible new cast member for season 2. Like, it's not confirmed, but it's
yes.
Yeah.
Calvin Harrison Jr.
Calvin Harris.
Yeah, Calvin Harris. Not Calvin Harris. Kelvin Harrison Jr. Who starred in an A24 movie called Waves
with Alexa
Demi that came out over the summer.
Which, by the way, plug if you're bored during quarantine. Like, that is a really great film. It's kind of deep and weird, but it's good.
If you like Euphoria, you would probably like Waves. Mm-hmm. The main character and his father are like a slightly less awful version of Nate and his dad.
Yeah.
Nate and Cal.
And Alexa Demi's a queen.
This boy, Kelvin Harrison Jr., has just been allegedly confirmed for season 2, playing an unknown character. So,
oh my god,
there we go. New casting for the new season.
Do you think it'd be so odd if she ended up being like Alexa Demi, Maddy Perez's like new love, and like maybe Nate's out the door, and then it's like her and this guy, what's his name, Calvin Harrison?
Kelvin Harrison Jr.
Calvin Harrison Jr. I feel like they had such good chemistry in the last movie. Like, maybe they're like, perfect. We don't have to do like the extra legwork. Like, they already work. Let's put them in.
Maybe. He played a football player in that movie, so maybe he's playing
like a private school football player?
Or maybe he's like a rival to McKay. Maybe he's like
a college boy.
Maybe he's the new hotshot on the team when McKay should be like getting the position. This
Absolutely.
Guy's like coming in hot, like
yeah,
with his football skills.
Or picture this, like Cassie and McKay, or Cassie invites Maddy to like a college summer fraternity party, and she meets him there.
Yeah, maybe.
I could see it.
TBD, possibilities.
So everyone's just thriving though, and in the euphoric world, we have Maud Apatow. I love pronouncing her name that way. I don't know why, but she's in a new series coming out, Hollywood. I'll just be completely honest. Like, I haven't done my research. I don't know what the fuck this show's about, but anything she does, like, we stand. I would watch anything she was in.
Watch it on Netflix. Tell us if it's
Is that
good.
where it's being released?
Yeah.
Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix.
Perfect. Well, it's being released soon or no?
Yeah, next week.
Oh my God, next week?
Within a week.
Oh my God, well then we'll watch and we'll review a little bit.
Maybe.
Oh, Alex, we have nothing
right,
else to do. I will watch then.
She
followers.
also, she was on Instagram this week with a matching shirt with her cat, which... our cat wears a shirt for a good reason, but he wears a shirt, so I can relate. But also, they were wearing Marine Serre, which is a designer we both really like. So.
Yeah, that designer's bomb.
Shout out to Maud Apatow's
I really love her. She actually is a crazy cat lady, so I'm like, I fully stand her outside of her role as Lexi. Then we have some exciting news with our main girl, Zendaya. She's always thriving, but now she's like really thriving. But Alex has more of a sci-fi background, so I'm going to let him take it over on this story.
Yeah, Alex here for the update on Zendaya. They released pictures from the new film Dune, which is coming out soon. It's got Zendaya, it's got Timothée Chalamet, it's got Josh Brolin, it's got some other people.
It's got other people. Exciting.
I don't think it looks very good, but good for Zendaya for being in like a major Hollywood. This is going to be a big deal. This is a 2-part epic.
Oh, it is?
Directed by, it's a sci-fi movie. It's based on like this legendary series of books. They adapted it one other time in the 80s. David Lynch did it. It turned out really bad because he didn't have final cut and the studios fucked it up. He hated it, and he never did a big studio movie.
Wait, I had no clue David Lynch did that.
Yeah, and Sting was in it, and
Sting.
Also,
oh my God, no wonder it was awful.
My boy,
did he sing?
Kyle MacLachlan is in it.
Did Sting sing in it? Is that where that song came from?
No, he doesn't sing in it. No,
in like Dune.
Unrelated to Dune. He plays like a crazy redheaded knife fighter.
Oh shit!
But
is that movie's an actor?
A little bit.
Sting, an actor? Oh God.
He's not bad in it, but that movie's fucking bizarre and not that good. It's like okay, but it's really.
So why do you think it looks bad?
So I think the new one looks bad because Dune is set like far, far away in like weirdo space, and it's a classic like politics like space opera thing. But it has no relation to Earth, but everything, all the stills from the Dune they just released, nothing looks like weird and alien. It all looks like just like regular Earth shit.
See, I thought it looked like Phantom Menace. I literally thought it looked like Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, like it
like in the desert. What's the desert planet?
Well, they're on a desert planet in this movie. It's Tatooine, but they're on a desert planet in this movie, so it's less the like planets. It's more that the costumes feel very like grounded in like Earth shit. They feel like a little. They feel very real.
So do you have no hope, or are you like, I'm hoping it's good, but it looks bad?
I don't know. I don't think it looks bad, but based on like the aesthetic that the guy's going for, like Dune should be really weird and alien feeling. And I'm
trying to make it more modern. Yeah, it's not.
It's looking like it's a little more like realistic, which is weird for like a space epic. Yeah,
which I guess like putting all things aside and all of our criticism aside, all we care about is that Zendaya is thriving. Like, I mean, as far as like our Euphoric podcast goes, like, great for her. She's probably making mad money on this.
On the other hand,
so it could suck, but like she's walking home with a fat check to take to the ATM.
On the other hand, it's directed by Denis Villeneuve, who has like a pretty good track record. Like,
what else has he done?
He did Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal, which I really liked.
That was
he
good.
did the new Blade Runner 2049, which was pretty good.
Okay, so it could be good.
He did Arrival, which is very good.
That was really good. So you know what?
So
who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, that's still really cool. I would definitely go see it, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, I'm for sure gonna see it.
Yeah, we'll see it. I mean, I'm excited. Good job, Zendaya. Like, great job. Her resume. Everyone on Euphoria, their resume just keeps building. I'm so proud of them. So. Then we have a really funny, like, lighthearted story here. We've got our girl, Sydney Sweeney. Shout out. We just adore you. But also, like, love that she was just literally making fun of herself. Like, this is some shit I would do. Like, well, I wouldn't work out, so never mind. This is not what I would do. Because fitness just doesn't exist in my life, sadly. But, like, she's out there running. I mean, she's got that great body. She's out there running. And they're always hounded by these dumb paparazzi. So she got all these photos of her, but she was pretty much like making fun of herself because like she's picking a wedgie in one photo, which I can relate to. I pick my wedgies all the time, and Alex is like so embarrassed. But like she's picking her wedgie like flat out in front of the paps. Then she's
Whatever.
got like,
She can pick that wedgie, and
I know,
it's
she
okay.
still looks hot. It's like, how does Sydney Sweeney still look hot picking a fucking wedgie? Like,
Because she got that ass. Like,
I mean, but like, not just that. Like, she just like is flawless. She's really a beautiful girl. So Sydney, like, my God. I mean,
Paige
I
has
know,
a little girl crush over here.
I know, I do. But also, like, Sydney, I know you were out jogging and you were like posting those pics pretending to be funny, but like, girl, you looked great. Like, good for you. So she's obviously doing great during quarantine. She's just thriving. But I thought it was funny. She was like comparing her photos to her dog, and her dog, she was saying her dog looked better. Tank is really cute, but like, trust me, Sydney, you looked great. Then the only other like funny Euphoria story we have for you outside of the show is Tristan, who plays, who knows? We don't know. It's either Troy or Roy.
Either
I honestly
Roy
can't
or
say.
Troy.
I know, I don't know. Maybe I should do the research and just find out. It's not that hard.
An unknown Roy and Troy.
I could just type in his name and find out, but I don't want to. I kind of like the mystery. Like, is he Roy? Is it Troy?
Is
Who
he
knows?
Tio or is he Tamara?
Or it's like Full House, where like if one twin's kind of having a bad day or is like hungry during a scene, they're like, we can't use you. Like, you're a little too grumpy right now. We need someone that's like gonna perform well. They pick one or the other. Do you think
Hypothetically, like, it seems like they could do that because they don't really make any differentiation in their personalities in the show.
Exactly. So if one's a little tired,
It
they're
could
like,
be
hey,
either one.
Tristan, get over
Yeah.
here. Like, you're in this part.
Yeah, Tristan's brother, come here.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever
But
his
anyways,
name is.
he did Insta Live. Who isn't? It's quarantine. Everyone's bored as fuck. He did an Insta Live. I was like so excited. We're on our podcast account. I'm like here ready to ask the hard-hitting questions because Roy and Troy are like some of our favorite characters to make fun of. I'm here like ready. And his Insta Live was just a hot mess. He kept pausing. It kept like cutting out. Then it got to a point where it was just
having
looping.
some technical difficulties.
I know,
Which
I'm
we
just-
can all relate to.
I know, but it was funny because it kept looping. He was doing a live. He accepted a request from, I think it was a fan. It had to be because I don't know who the fuck it was. It was a fan. And she kept repeating the same line over and over again. I should have wrote it down because it was so funny. But all the fans were going off. They were like, yo, this is the worst live ever. Like, it sounds like a remix. The girl keeps saying the same shit. It just kept looping because it was on pause.
Yeah.
So it was funny. So Tristan, listen, like, we'd love to have you on the podcast. I want to know, like, what happened. Did you drop your phone and it, like, broke? Or, like, what happened during that Insta Live?
Tristan, if you want to redeem yourself from your technical difficulties, like, we'll get our in-house IT expert to hook you up. We'll make sure the connection is strong.
Yes, we'll send you a bottle of Cooks so you can drink with us while we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, we will hook it up. So we would love to hear from you. Like, we stand everyone on the show. Like, we're here. Anyways, I think it's time to, first of all, obviously deep dive into the episode, but also in this episode, our favorite champagne is once again brought up. It makes its big debut. It's Cooks. So, you know what? Alex bought a bottle.
Dong.
We had a one shopping trip of the month. This was the top of our list was Cook champagne so that we could pop it over the podcast mic, pour ourselves a little glass of champs before we start the episode. So, Alex, I'm going to stay quiet so we
Give
can
me your
hear
glass page.
so that we can hear the perfect pop of a Cook
Yes,
champagne.
Here it is. I think that was the pop of my knuckle.
It's coming. Oh, that is orgasmic.
That's hot.
I should have said that's euphoric. Yeah, that's hot. That's euphoric. It's all the above. So while Alex is pouring us a glass of champagne, I think it's important to just like lay it out. I mean, we have a lot to talk about today. This episode, to be fair, we were joking, like, it's definitely not as funny as the other episodes we've been recapping. Like, it wasn't hard to find, like, funny things to talk about, but Maddy and Nate's relationship is so fucked that it's hard to, like, make fun of it because it's so serious.
Yeah, I mean, last week's episode was hypothetically a downer, but we still found a lot of stuff to make fun of.
Also, that's so ASMR. Wait, let me hear the fizzing.
Yeah,
Wait,
sounds great.
can you hear it? Oh my god, that sounds beautiful.
It's a beautiful sound. That's probably one of
really
my
is.
favorite sounds in the world.
If anyone, honestly, I feel like maybe, you know what? I just had an idea. It'd be really funny for our next giveaway if we get to like 300 followers, we send someone a bottle of Cooks. But you'd have to be of age.
Jumbo Cooks.
That's hard though, we don't know if they're of age.
Yeah.
Okay, scratch that. That might not work. But you know what? It's a thought. Well, anyways, let's start. Cheers, Alex.
That's so euphoric.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Let's
We've
go. So much to go over here. All right.
Episode 5, entitled "03 Bonnie and Clyde."
Yes.
Yet another episode named after a 2000s, late 90s hip hop song. Again, not used in the episode.
Which
but
is so
that's a
weird.
Jay-Z and Beyonce song from the early days when they were kind of like, are they together? Are they not?
Love it.
It's a great hit, you know.
It's really great.
It's got a funny video.
So we get this amazing intro to Maddie's life. And all of us ladies and boys, I'm sure, love Maddie. I mean, meaning we love her as like, we love her style. She's definitely the most like, I don't know what the word is.
I don't know if I love Maddie.
I think her and Jules, though, are top of the tier in terms of like style and looks, meaning like they're the most iconic. Yes,
I would agree with that.
So I'm not saying I'm not 100%. At all. I'm wiping personality. I'm saying Maddie is definitely like someone that like for Halloween you dress up as.
Yeah, she's right below Jules.
Yeah, she's an icon. So we kind of get her upbringing, which is really interesting. To be honest, I would not peg Maddie as a pageant girl, but we get this whole intro of her being this dramatic pageant girl. Alex loved the intro because he thinks he can like sing it so well. It's a Madonna song. What? It's a classic.
Starlight, Star Pride.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for star, see tonight.
I don't even know if those are the words.
It's a great song. Those are for sure the words. It would be song of the week if it weren't for a certain late edition in this.
Madonna's rolling over in her bed, not her grave, her bed.
Yeah, she's still alive,
in this quarantine. But Maddie is just like, honestly, I have to first and foremost shout out to our lovely Euphoric makeup artist. I'm going to butcher the name. Alex, just take it away. It's Daniela Davy, do you think? Davy? It's Davy.
Yeah, Davy.
Okay. She is an absolute genius. Maddie's makeup, I mean, honestly, I was joking with Alex before we recorded this. It is so hard to do makeup, just in general. Like, for me, it's an absolute tragedy when I try and do someone's makeup. But to do a little girl's makeup, like, with those little tiny eyelids, like, to do all those little rhinestones, I mean, oh my god, I can't even imagine. You'd have to be, like, so fucking good at what you do. So, I give her absolute praise. Every single one of Maddie's looks in this opening scene is fire, and there are so many makeup looks. There's, like, I don't know, over 30, like... There really is. Every scene she has a different look that's like absolutely amazing. Also thought it was funny. I did a little bit of research into Maddie's makeup in this episode, and I thought this was kind of like interesting. Sam Levinson, the creator and director, apparently he's a YouTube makeup fanatic. He like loves watching makeup tutorials. He likes
those YouTube tutorials. Tutorials.
But like, that's so cute. I love that because that goes to show that like I love a director that's involved. Like he wasn't just like, oh ladies, like work on the makeup. He was like, no, like I know this shit. Like bring her out. Like, oh, I want a winged eyeliner. Like he knows his terms.
He likes his makeup.
She literally called him out.
Tutorials.
Daniela called him out and said like he knows his shit. Like he was like literally like, yes, I like that, but can we add this? So he was actually like involved.
Yeah,
which I love.
That's cool. I appreciate the attention to detail.
Also, that was in Allure magazine, an article. It was actually a really good one, and I'll probably link it in our Insta if you want to revisit it. It has a lot of really cool shit about their makeup.
Also, while we're on the subject of makeup, the other night, Paige and I were having a little bit of like a late night drinking, listening to music session, watching music videos, and Paige put on an old Ciara music video. Ciara. Probably from maybe like 2003. I don't know. What was the name of the song?
Oh god, it's like Shawty can't handle this.
Yeah, whatever. Featuring Ludacris. But
yeah, featuring Ludacris.
Hot damn, we were both shook while watching this video because like many of Maddie's makeup looks are lifted straight from this video. Like
we have
Ciara
to link it.
Has the rhinestones in the part of her hair. She has the rhinestones around the eyebrows, all the way around the eyes, like the full look. Like they basically, not like in a bad way, but they definitely like lifted it straight from this video.
Or do you think, I mean, I would love to ask the makeup artists. Once again, we'll take anyone on the podcast, but I would absolutely love to talk to them. They're actually like at the top of my list.
We won't take anyone. We have standards, Paige.
We do. But I'm saying I absolutely adore them. I think they're like so smart and creative. And they're really fun on Instagram. And all of our fans, I'm sure, already follow. But like, they're just amazing. And I would love to get their insight. And I would like to know if they've seen the Ciara music video. And they were like, wow, this is Maddie.
I think they must have. I mean, it's a very like direct, it seems like a direct reference. I don't think they like stole it, but it seems like this is like, they were directly referencing this video. And also it plays into like the larger theme where like probably if you were to pick like 1 to 3 direct aesthetic inspirations for Euphoria, like late 90s, early 2000s hip-hop is obviously a very strong one. From the episode titles to the music to the clothes.
Yep.
So this fits very nicely in with that. Like overall influence.
Totally. But yeah, the makeup is fire. I'm totally here for it. Maddie is just, I think her makeup definitely like dominates other than Jules. So anyways, moving on, like she's a pageant girl. I took a note and I literally was like, pageant girl, I don't get it.
Pageantry is so whack.
It's so whack. Alex and I had a long conversation about this. Like pageants, I can't stand a pageant girl. I can't. Like, I'm not here for it. I think it's like so... I'm just gonna say it. It's fucking stupid. Like, it's so dumb. Like, it's literally like you're just... It's like, okay, to me, it is the equivalent to like joining a sorority. It's like you're literally being judged on your looks, on your most shallow like talents and skills. It's not any... It's just nothing. It's like, to me, it's nothing. Bad. It's talentless. It's stupid.
And it's... I mean, it has a long history rooted in just like men judging women. It's very like traditionally like misogynistic, and they've tried to update it over the years and bring in like more female judges, and they try to ask more like intellectual questions, but at its core it's still a contest about judging women. And like regardless of who's judging, like you're still judging against pretty traditional like standards, and it's still like
it's 2020. I'm over it.
It's whack.
It's like let's just get rid of pageants. Like
they've tried to like update it, but it's just not gonna work because you're still parading women out on stage like cattle and then judging them, which is like
who the actual fuck is still like participating in I just want to know in 2020 like who the fuck is still doing pageants? It's so weird.
But pageants did give us one of the best moments in like internet viral video history, which
is
the girl
that answered the geography question, right?
The girl that said the Iraq and then had like the long rambling cringy.
Is that what it actually was?
Yeah.
I don't think she said the Iraq. I
think she said the Iraq.
What was she answering? We should look that up.
We'll link it. We'll put it in the Instagram. But
some of our fans might not know about that. It was a long time ago, right?
It was like back in... it was like 2005 maybe or something. Yeah. We should blast that out. It's a good one.
But anyways, I'm just not here for pageants. I don't stand it. I think it's disgusting. So I thought it was kind of weird, but also it kind of makes sense because Maddie's like projecting that she's always been quote unquote confident through her childhood. So then we get a little idea of like why Maddie's kind of like, I'm just kind of here to do nothing. And interesting. I don't know. Like, what is your take on this? I mean, there's a lot. We kind of unpacked it earlier, but I feel like it's strange because Maddie is such a lovable character, but also you just want to like love and hate her. Like, she really has so many qualities that are so gross, kind of like Nate. Like, she's not a good friend. She's really not a good girlfriend. She's like banging other guys. Like, she acts like she loves Nate. That's obviously a lie. She's banging like every dude on the side, which is fine. You go, girl, but like... Right. Don't pretend like you live this whole facade and then, I don't know. I don't think it's very hard to hate her, but it's also really hard to love her. That's my take on Maddie.
Yeah, she's a frustrating character because she's kind of like, she's complex. She's very contradictory.
She's definitely not shallow. I was just going to say, she is complex. She has a lot of layers to me.
And she's very shallow in certain senses.
But I also don't think she's stupid. I think she's pretty smart.
Ooh. Interesting.
I think she is. She's calculated.
Really? In what way? What is she? What
her
actions?
Fucking Tyler in
what
the pool,
actions does she take in the show that's calculated?
She does certain things that are very calculated.
I mean, but that's the most base. Like, that doesn't take any calculation. If you want to piss a guy you're dating off, you fuck another guy. That's like as like basic and primal as it gets. Like, I know. That's like caveman shit. That's not calculating.
All right. It's hard. I don't think I'm
not out here
so
to like say like she's stupid, but I don't think she's like necessarily the smartest character on the show, and I would never look to her as.
I think she's
like,
smarter than she makes it out to be. I think she's smarter than she's letting off. And I think in season 2 we'll learn more. I don't know. That's my thoughts.
We'll see. In this episode, she is not particularly smart. But I think she has this like epiphany when she's little, basically, that you can do nothing with your life.
And be successful.
And she's just like, I want to do nothing with my life.
No, but she wants to do nothing and she wants success from it. Meaning she wants the best life by doing nothing. Essentially, she wants the life of like a real housewife who's married a husband and doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, and I think that this idolatry of like doing nothing brings to light kind of like why she's this like character you're so mixed about, because she has these moments where she's really fiery and passionate about stuff, and you're like, yeah, get it, girl. And then like she also has this like base like primal interest in just doing fucking nothing, which is like not particularly like something that we're all
It's,
gonna like look up to. And most of the
yeah.
time when she's being like really lame in the show or being really shitty or whatever, it's because she's just being like inactive. She's being passive. She's just letting like Nate be a dickhead. She's letting Nate like accuse Tyler of rape, like whatever. It's usually when she's being really shitty, it's usually because she's just doing nothing. She's not being a good friend to her friends, like whatever.
Totally.
So that's
a good
kind
point.
of like, you see kind of why she has like these two sides. You
Yes.
don't really get a sense for why she has that fiery side, but it seems like that's just kind of natural to her.
I told you why I think, though. I said earlier when we were talking about Maddy in depth, I said I think the reason she gets so fiery and has these moments where we're like, yes, girl, like when she knocks over the chili and calls the mom a cunt, it's like, you know what? Maddy, I think from her home life, we see like she's constantly listening to her parents fight. It's gotta be like really tough as a high schooler to come home and have to deal with that. Like your dad literally dribbling vomit on his chest, like a total drunk, not doing anything. Your mom screaming at you for no reason because she's mad at the husband. It's a lot, I think, emotionally for a high schooler to take in. So I think for her, those moments where she pops, my guess is that she's holding in a lot of like emotion from that. And then those moments are the perfect time to just like pop. And she might not be conscious of it. I don't think it's calculated or anything like that. I just think like that's very natural for someone who holds in a lot to just kind of like explode. So I think those moments where she does explode and we're like, yes, girl, I don't really think she's like that confident. I think it just comes from a place of like snapping almost.
That's possible. Her confidence
Because
mostly
she's so
seems
submissive.
fake,
Like you said,
too.
she does nothing all the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So like the chili moment, like for instance, like when he called her a hooker, she was just like, what? And then like he walked away at the carnival. So it's like it was like built up anger, and then she's at the chili contest and everyone's clapping and like parading his family, and she's like no.
Yeah.
And she pops off. So I think
that makes sense, because if she had more of like a sustained continued like confidence and like badass attitude, none of this stuff would ever happen in the first place.
exactly. So
yeah, that makes
a
sense.
lot. But we also see some great scenes of Maddy banging other dudes.
Yeah, Maddy definitely bangs other dudes, and that like she bangs the roller rink guy. She bangs the
stockbroker,
the DJ who claims he opened for Calvin Harris.
Yeah.
Some stockbroker, some like 40-year-old
Calvin
guy
Harris or Calvin
like,
Harris Jr.
In this case it was Calvin Harris.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I mean I think I was a little shocked, which is strange. I was like, oh, I thought she actually did really like love Nate. Alex was like laughing at me and thought I was naive, but like I really thought she was like really into Nate. So I always laugh because whenever I watch this, I'm like, oh, like she's not in love with him. She's definitely just like using him for status. That's it.
Yeah, I always read their relationship as like a mutual partnership of like them both being in the classic high school. Like we're both the most popular, so let's like hook up for the popularity, and like I always read it as that.
Nothing more. No like romance. No.
I think they're both like obsessed with aspects of like with maintaining their relationship, but
Yes.
I don't think they love each other. And I think this whole segment like really says a lot about that. I mean, they're like Nate really, at one point the narration says Nate really loved her. I think we can all agree that's not the case. And then Rue's narration also says she loved Nate. But then the sentence after that says she loved their relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that says everything you need to know about what she really like quote loves about Nate, which is not that she loves Nate. She loves their relationship and like what purpose it serves.
Yeah.
So I think in this episode, despite them both insisting they love each other, it's very clear they don't really love each other at all.
Yeah. So altogether, I mean, I think that wraps up the beginning of the episode. We could go on and on and on about how sick Nate and Maddy are, but that'll come later. So then we get this great intro. The credits come through. I was joking that it literally reminds me of the opening scene of Willy Wonka. It's definitely very Danny Elfman-esque. It's like fun. It's loud. It's boisterous. Like I'm here for it. Got me excited to start the episode. Then we get into Rue, and she's in bed and she's fingering herself, which is like, I'm already laughing because I'm like, this to me would be the worst situation to have to film. Like, Zendaya, I give you mad props. I just like, I couldn't do this. I know like that's part of acting, whatever. But like, I feel like if you're like over the top, like, like that's different because you're like, no one in the crew is like, oh my God, this is like a lot. Like you're acting, right? You're going over the top. But when she's just like quietly fingering herself in bed, I'm like, oh my God, that is so awkward. With like
Doesn't seem
40-year-old
that
men
bad.
filming you?
I mean, like,
I couldn't do it. I mean, I could. I would do it, obviously. She's making big...
I mean, all she does, though, is lay there in her, like, fully clothed under the blankets and just kind of look awkward for, like, a second. Like, it doesn't last long, and
No,
she doesn't even
but-
have to look, like, super seriously into it. Like, she's absorbed. She just kind of looks, like, awkward for a minute, and then
I
her mom
know.
busts
Do you think
in.
she's really under there pretending to finger herself?
What do you, I mean, that's what...
Or do you think she's,
of
like,
course
digging her
pretend-
nail into, like, her leg or something?
What? What is your question? Is she
like-
actually fingering herself in
No,
bed?
not actually,
no.
but, like... Oh, you don't think so? I don't know. Some
No,
actors...
I don't think she's fingering
Some
herself
actors
in
are
bed.
method actors. Some would really do it.
Not for that, like, 5-second scene. She's literally doing it for, like, 5 seconds before the mom busts in. Like, maybe if it was, like, this big dramatic moment where it was, like, important that it seemed like she really was. But, like...
Well, I guess we'll never know unless we talk to Zendaya about it. But, like, it doesn't really matter. She's really
I'll
great
let you
in it.
ask her that one.
Although, it is funny. Her mom, like, storms in and she's like, ooh, it's, like, awkward. Yeah, so I'm not gonna, like, put you in the hot seat because this is so fucking awkward. But, like, we've all had those moments. We have to have all had those moments where, like, it's a close call where, like, you're in your room, you're masturbating, doing your business, whatever you want to call it. And
doing your business.
you gotta tap at the door, like, honey, dinner, and you're like, what the...
Well, the tap is fine. What's not fine is the
busting
bust
in, like her mom
The
did.
bust in is not fine.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, back to my high school days, like, I have no shame. That's never happened to me. My parents, like, they just knew better. I think they knew I was a little bit of a wild child, so they knew to knock. Did your parents knock before entering any time? Like, not just, like,
They
with
knew
that,
Paige
but, like...
was in there getting it.
Yeah, but did your parents, like, knock and then go in, or were they the type that barged in?
I've had close calls with the bargains, but luckily, like, I have a separated bathroom closet scenario.
So your privacy is your privacy. You didn't have to deal with anything, like,
I've
psycho.
never just been, like, caught flat out with, like, my dong out. Like,
Oh my god, I hope not.
You
Oh my
know?
god, this is so awkward. We're gonna move on from this because, you know, I don't want to even think about that stuff because I
Thank
love
God.
Alice's parents. Anyways, we move on. I put a little note that I thought Rue's mom did such a good job giving her a little heart-to-heart about Jules. Like, wasn't super harsh, but was just like, listen, baby, like, you're fragile. You gotta be careful. Like, this is new. She's just like, you know, you've been through a shit ton. You've literally OD'd and you've come back. And in her head, it's like, you're doing so well. You're sober. Like, please don't get too caught up. She doesn't want her to get hurt. It's like, she's not even saying, like, she's not Ali. She's
Many
like...
people in this episode talk to both Rue and Jules about their relationship, and I think Rue's mom probably handles it the best, in that all she says is just, like, take it slow.
Exactly.
Which is probably the best. Like, I think she just handles it the best.
Exactly. So then, anything else about that you want to say?
In the spirit of taking it slow, they go see Ashtray and they get tattoos in their inner lip.
Also, I don't know where I read this, but I know I did. The tattoos obviously are not real. They're like little stickers they put on the inside of their lip. Alex knows this about me. I'm really weird. I'm the most, like, open-minded, free-spirited girl you'll ever meet in your life. But, like, for some reason, tattoos are just, like, I can't. Like, needles terrify me. I'm not a permanent person. I don't want anything permanently tattooed on me. But the only thing I've ever said I might get is inside my lip. I want my last name, which is Blazer with an S, but the S is a $sign. So I want Blazer with a $sign in my upper lip. I might do it one day.
Upper lip?
Or no, sorry, lower lip.
Oh, okay.
I said that wrong. My lower
Otherwise,
lip.
you'd have to be like... Bleh.
Yeah, that'd be disgusting.
Gross.
That would be absolutely
Predator.
foul. No, not that. I know you want a tattoo.
I would probably want, like, 2 or 3 tattoos total.
Well, this is... You're dropping this on me as we're recording our podcast? I thought you only had one that you wanted.
Well, there's one I know I want that I plan to get within, like, a year or two, which is a chicken that I draw on my butt.
A chicken. He literally wants a chicken on his ass. Like,
But
he
I
thinks
have
that's
none.
funny
I have
because it's
none right
chicken butt,
now.
right? Is that why?
Well, I want the chicken because I've been drawing it my whole life and I love chickens. And, like, my moniker on everything is, like, chicken related, like young chicken nugget, like, whatever.
my
That's my
God.
alternate identity. And that chicken's great. So I want that on my butt. I also have, I kind of want, like, one of the old, like, 30s to 50s, like, Halloween decoration, Bestel, like, Halloween cats, I think. I've always, like, played with the idea of getting one of those good cats.
Okay, so that's number 2. What's
like
number
the cat
3?
with, like, a top hat and a monocle.
What's number 3?
I don't know. Maybe Meatball. Yeah, probably something Meatball related, honestly.
We have a cat named Meatball. I think we've brought it up before, but we have a fat cat named Meatball who we adore. He's literally our son, our baby, our shining light.
He is. And the contender for third tattoo would probably be Meatball. But I have none yet. Most people assume I do.
Okay. Well, that's our thoughts on tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
So then we kind of,
unless
of course,
you have
anything else about that.
Tattoos.
Yeah, that's really strange since he's like 8 years old. I don't know why he can give tattoos, but
because he's a baller. He knows how to do everything. He knows how to work with the Bitcoin. He knows how to hustle drugs. He knows how to give tattoos.
Yeah, he's thriving.
Then we cut to Cal working out on the construction site like a man.
Working in the field.
He's got his hard hat and he's talking about angles and wood and why is designs. It delayed? What's the holdup?
Okay,
whatever.
But the only thing I will say is there's great detailing. His hat has the Cal Jacobs family like construction. Like they were very close to. They paid very close attention to detail on this. Like his hat had his name, his shirt, the sign that was outside of the company. I thought, wow, production went really far with this.
The value.
Yeah, so, now I really understand Cal's like income and his job. He like dominates the town.
Yeah, he built like half the town or something, they say. So then he gets called to school, and he's thinking obviously that it's about him and Jules, and Cal is trying to play this off like he's a real cool cucumber, but his nerves are not as steely as he thinks they are, and he fucking throws up in the high school bathroom, which is a great like haha like moment.
It is. He deserves that.
Here's Cal walking in thinking he has really like got this on lock and he's Mr. Cool and he can't even handle this shit enough.
But he also like I think it's funny because he fucking deserves that because it's like it just proves our point further that scene's so rapey because if you're throwing up in a toilet, it's like you fucking know that you fucked a minor. Like this is bad. This isn't like a hot side sex trip. It's like this could be considered rape. You could get in trouble.
Speaking of which, there is a fucking ton of statutory rape in Euphoria.
There really is, and it's not... to be fair, I'm glad they don't bring it up a lot because that's kind of boring. Like, we're not trying to be Law & Order SVU here. I mean, I love that you and I joke that it is, and we'll get more into that later, but, like, we don't need to go into the depths.
There do be a lot of statutory rape. Maddie's like banging a 40-year-old when she's like 14.
Yeah.
Kat's banging the Caston when she's 16.
Totally.
Like,
there's a lot.
Cal's banging like many young minors. People, untold numbers. Like,
it's bad. So then we have Maddie.
Jules is banging people.
So then we have Maddie entering school. Maddie's on her period. It could not be more like honest to God.
She's dressed like the Unabomber.
She's dressed like the Unabomber, but also, like, I've been dressed like the Unabomber all week because I've had my period on quarantine. It's absolutely fucking treacherous. Like, ladies, I just want to have a moment of silence for us to have our period on quarantine. Like, it is hard. A moment of silence. Okay, moving on. Kat's outfit is so good in this. I love the zebra top. It says baby girl in like a neon aqua color. She's got the glasses. She looks very like Matrix almost, and she's like walking.
I like this one for her. I feel like it fits into like.
It fits her personality.
It's one of the ones where I'm like, she's actually like finding her own style and doing something like interesting, whereas some of them are just like total bullshit.
Totally.
I think this is one of the better ones for her.
Maddie looks rough.
I approve.
We learned from reading that article in Allure magazine about the makeup that they purposely made Maddie extra rough in this, which is they did a great job because she looks rough as hell.
Oh yeah.
She's like sweating. She looks clammy. She's got bags in her eyes. She does not look well.
No. And then we get the return of Principal Hayes, who's calling in all the students to question them about the ongoings. Yes. Again, probably some pretty like botched handling of things.
A great BB moment though.
Yeah, even BB knows Nate is gay. BB's there in her motocross jersey getting questioned by Principal Hayes, and she's like, yeah, like, Nate's gay, and Maddie's like pissed about it or whatever.
I like how she's like, I'm not gonna answer till I have my lawyer.
Oh yeah, she's so ratchet.
But also like BB, it's
not her first rodeo.
Fucking love BB, and also she liked one of our posts this week, and I literally
did.
I died because I'm like, we need BB on the podcast.
Sophia Rose Wilson.
If you are listening, we need you on this I want to ask her so many funny questions about her character. Mm-hmm. But anyways, moving on, like we stan BB. Maddie's in the office. She's drinking orange Gatorade out of a straw. Good for her. You never want to stain your teeth drinking Gatorade. So, like, I'm so fucking happy production handed her a straw. Like, Alexa Demi should not be learning this pearly whites.
All right. But yeah, everybody's getting called in. Jules gets called in. Jules is looking great.
Yeah.
She's got her hair. She's now dyed the bottom of her hair like purplish, and the rest of her hair is very white. It's looking good.
It's great. And then we have Lexi and Cassie have this really hilarious locker conversation. They're at their lockers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lexi's like, whoa, like, did you see what happened to Maddie? Like, she's obviously in trouble. Like, Nate fucking tried to kill her. And Cassie's like, oh my God, like, or what did she say?
Cassie's like, who told you about that? And Lexi's like, you did.
You did.
I think it was about Nate being gay, not the choking, but I'm not sure. But either way, it's funny because Cassie has forgotten that she was high as shit and she obviously told everyone about everything.
Yeah.
BB knows, like, yeah, Lexi knows.
I mean, they're close friends.
Everybody knows now.
Totally.
Even not the close friends. Even the randos at the school know that Nate's pretty much gay now.
Yeah,
and
the word's gone around.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny because I love Lexi in that. It just shows, like, her cute character. I love her. Then we have Ethan and Kat, a small blip of them in the classroom. And Ethan's kind of like, yo, what happened at the carnival? Like, we were having a great night, and, like, you fucking bailed, and I texted you, like, 50,000 times, and I looked at my text, and I told Alex, I give Ethan, so I will take back every medieval time t-shirt comment I made. Like, I stand Ethan in this moment because he confronts her instead of being shy. He's like, yo, like, I sent you a fucking text and I saw that they were delivered. Like, what's the deal? He, like, puts her in the hot seat, and she, honestly, this is the first time where I agree with you. Kat's kind of a bitch to Ethan. Like,
she's so mean to him.
I know, and he's so sweet.
They even, in this scene, there's a projector in the classroom showing something on screen, and the way they show it, the projector is right behind Ethan, so that the light is coming out around his head like he's a literal angel. He's a gem.
He is an angel.
And Kat is so mean to him.
And yeah, and I will say, I mean, I don't think it's with intent. I think she's going through a lot, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, and then we get the return on the cat train. We get the return of the cat mask. She's once again conversing with our boy Johnny Unite USA, aka Tiny Dick Diaper Man, and talking about how she thinks men are pathetic, which is pretty funny given that she is there wearing the silliest, like, dollar store cat mask, spending her time as a hot young high schooler talking to Tiny Dick Diaper Man for what, like $100? Like, I mean, good for her for getting that money, but, like, if we're gonna talk about pathetic, yeah, men are pathetic, and that guy's definitely pathetic.
Also, Ethan's not pathetic.
But, like, no, he's not. But, like, you're hypothetically, like, a hot young high school girl, and this is how you're spending your, like, dream high school nights talking to fat men on the internet. Like,
another fun plug. I should have talked about this last episode, but I read about it after we filmed or recorded, what the fuck ever. Kat's reaction to the Diaper Man's micro penis was actually organic. I did not know that. Like, meaning the crew did not tell her that the man casted had a micro penis. So when she watched him on screen, they actually gave her a little talk before, because on HBO they have what they call, I forget what it's called, but they have someone that's like a therapist, if you will, that's with you on set.
Yeah, the sex coach.
The sex coach. They like make sure you're okay. They check in, which is very important.
Yeah.
But they were there and they were like, we'll let you know something like really sexual is going to happen on the screen, but you just have to act organically. So she had no idea this guy had a micropenis. So I love that because her reaction's like, to be fair, her organic reaction is really funny. She's like cackling. She's laughing.
That's pretty funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Because as an actor, you don't know if you should maybe be like, micropenis. Yay, this is hot. But she was just like fucking laughing. So I'm like, Kat, good job.
That is pretty funny.
So then we got Maddie in the questioning room at the school. She's being asked like, yo, did Nate fucking choke you out? She is flipping shit. Maddie really like turns. This is like her character arc where you really see her like kind of unravel. She's like losing her shit. She completely falls apart. For me, it's sad because she goes from being this like idolized, confident character, if you will, to like no makeup, rough as fuck. Like, appearances don't matter, but it's showing that like her facade is gone. It's down the toilet. It is
crumbling, and we can't blame her. Like, a guy choked her out. Like,
yeah, it's awful.
But yeah, it is.
It's traumatic. No one at that age should ever be choked by their boyfriend. I mean, Nate is a fucking.
I mean, it's
psycho.
sad that through all of this, she's like defending him and trying to get out of it and make it okay. But like, she's a victim, so of course she is. But
also, Alex and I have justice and huge props to her mother.
Yeah, I mean, her mother seems like a pretty sus role model in general, but at least her mom I mean, generally both her parents seem like trash, but her mom, in 2 instances we've seen, does at least seem to like love or give a shit about Maddie, which is that when she finds out that pageants are full of pedophiles, she pulls her out of pageants. Great.
And then when she's
probably the wrong reason, but like still like good. She's out
Great.
of pageants, and then she's like, "Yeah, we're fucking pressing those charges against Nate." Like,
there's no doubt. She doesn't
you.
even take a minute to think about it. She's like, "No, we absolutely are pressing charges."
Thank God. And the dad's just sitting there like an idiot. So yeah, good.
The dad was
good
even
job.
there.
Oh yeah, he's there. He's just slumped up against the wall, like hanging out. He doesn't say
really?
anything. Oh yeah, totally.
Not just her mom was there.
No, the dad's there. He just does. He says nothing.
Interesting factoid. I had no idea the dad was there.
Whereas most dads would be ready to like fucking kill.
Are you
that
positive?
guy.
I want to rewatch it now.
Swear.
Okay.
On my foot.
So then Cal and Nate have this really interesting conversation. They're off in the side room. Cal comes in and is like, after he barfs in the bathroom like a little pussy, he comes in and is like, Nate, did you choke Matt? Like, did this happen?
Yeah.
And Nate's like, no, it didn't. But it's like very obvious that like Cal knows he fucking did it.
We all know Cal knows Nate did it.
Yes.
Cal wants to hear Nate say he didn't so he can go ham on like defending Nate.
Yes.
But I think we all know Cal knows Nate did it.
But I also think it's very important. It is so important to elaborate on this scene in that when you watch it, if you haven't watched the show a second time around, next time you watch it, just notice like their chemistry in that scene, because I think it just shows how manipulative Cal is over Nate. He doesn't even have to say like, you are gonna say this, you are gonna do this. Nate just fucking does it because he knows if he doesn't, his dad's right there. Like, It's a threat. It's like his dad is fucking scary. He's like literally sitting there. Like he could in that moment be vulnerable and maybe go like, oh my God, Dad, I fucked up. But he knows that's not an option. It's like very clear that their dynamic is like, you didn't do it right. Like his dad is hardcore.
Yes. Yep, agree.
There's no room. In other words, there's no room for mistake or error. His dad's like, you didn't do this, right?
Yep. And I think despite the manipulation, Cal also thinks he's being like a good dad by like having like Nate's back and being like, we're gonna fight this, like walk out with your head held high. Whereas it's like, nah, dog, you're being such a toxic, like
horrible father.
Yeah, terrible.
Cal's a bad dad.
Terrible.
He's a bad dad.
He is a bad dad.
So then we get, I actually was laughing. I said, this next scene that's really dramatic after they have this like whole epic like Law and Order SVU scene where Maddie and Nate are pressing charges. There's like all this drama. Then they walk through with this like epic music. They walk through this empty cafeteria where Rue and Jules are like doing homework. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's kind of a weird scene.
Yeah.
The whole cafeteria is shut down. They're in there doing their thing. They walk through and Rue, I said, it reminds me of Alex. She's like not taking it seriously. And I'm not like I think it's funny.
No,
like,
I don't take anything seriously.
I know you don't. But like Rue's kind of like, ha ha ha, remember when you fucked like Cal? And Jules obviously is like, Rue, like that's not funny. Like that's serious. Like let's not talk about that, please. Like that's obviously not a moment I want to like joke about. And Rue's like, oh, okay. Like I didn't know it was that serious. Even though Rue definitely knows something's up. Mm-hmm. And then she like starts elaborating and she's like, I don't remember what she says, but then Jules essentially gets pissed and walks off because Rue's like, you know what would be really funny is if we charged Cal, like if you literally press charges and then got a shit ton of money. Yeah, get a bunch of money and we can go off into the world and like do our thing. And Jules essentially gets up.
Not a bad plan.
Not a bad plan at all. And I was just joking. I literally wrote a note, Rue is Alex, because that's some shit Alex would say. And I'd be pissed and I'd be like, okay, take this shit seriously. Like, this isn't funny.
Yeah, but Jules gets pissed.
She walks out. I wouldn't even say she's pissed. I think she's just more like, she's holding in a lot of emotions that she doesn't feel like she can open it up to Jules yet about.
Yeah, she's more involved. But she's looking really good. I gotta say, Jules looks great in this episode. She's got it going on.
I know, but that has nothing to do with what we're just talking about.
Whatever.
So anyways, then...
also, just prior to that, we get like a little more cat action where she's like rolling through the mall and she's like, there's nothing more powerful than like a fat girl who doesn't give a fuck. Like she's doing her thing. She's got her like all red outfit on.
I will say, Euphoria and superfans love that quote. They use it a lot. So tread slowly.
I'm going to tread very lightly here. I don't think the red outfit works for her, but like good for her. I think it's kind of like back into like the like this is less your style and more like you just ripped this from like Dolls Kill, like mall goth vibes. But, like, she's powerful. She's got her thing going. Good for her.
Yeah.
She clearly gives some fucks. She's, like, almost crying about the thing with Ethan. So she definitely gives some fucks. But, like, she's putting on the face like she doesn't. So she's doing her...
She's having a tough time.
doing her thing. This episode and the last episode is kind of Kat's, like... I'm doing my thing. I'm gonna bang some dudes. Like,
well,
I'm gonna dress different and bang some dudes.
She's building what we call a false confidence. She's getting validation. Do we
call it that?
Yeah, we do. She's building validation off of guys she's just given blowjobs to that are like, you're amazing, and it's like that's not like a real confidence boost. Like, you could suck a guy's dick for 2 seconds and he might go, you're the most amazing thing I've ever had. It's like, that's not like validation in who you are. It has nothing to do with like what a great person Kat is. So we both agreed that like the part when like her mom's rubbing her hair, it's real sweet, but like she's kind of like, we never do this anymore. And you kind of see like another side of Kat where she's like a little more childish, and you can tell like she's struggling.
Yeah, it's like,
she's
Kat's
definitely
mom,
struggling.
we never do this anymore because your daughter spends all her time talking to Tiny Dick Diaper Man on the internet instead of you. Like, ooh, ouch.
It is.
Arrow to the heart.
But I told Alex I felt really sad when she almost cried with Ethan in the classroom, because it's like you can tell she's struggling. So that's where we are with Kat.
She's
a tough
struggling
time
for her. Yep.
We'll see where she goes next episode, but she's struggling.
Yep. So then we go back to Rue and Jules, and it seems like in the last episode, I mean, they spent some time in bed. They like made out. We're not really sure what exactly happened, but it seems like they might have got up to something. So now they're kind of talking about their sexual history with each other,
which is so funny, and
Rue
it's so accurate.
Rue gives a very funny like preface of her sexual history.
It's my super brief and horrifying sex history, which I love.
There it is.
I love that title. I love that they make it like kind of like the dick pic scene where it's very like, let me tell you my story.
Yep.
It's great. It's very accurate for I mean, everyone has different stories. I definitely can relate to Rue in this, where like I've hooked up with guys since I was 13. Not proud of it, but like kind of proud of it, but I have. But like I'm definitely her, where it's like guys a little bit oh my god, that was amazing. Like, oh, like wasn't that so great? And I'm like, for you, because I'm amazing, but like no, not for me. Like I was faking that. Like I literally told Alex I haven't had an orgasm since like I was in college. Oh no wait.
Excuse
I said that wrong. Sorry. I haven't had an orgasm until college.
Back it up.
I haven't. I'm sorry. I fucked up my words.
Prior to college.
I fucked up my words. I'm dying. The cooks is really getting to me. I did not have a real orgasm in high school. Like, I don't think that ever happened. Maybe it did. I don't know. But trust me.
You probably remember.
Trust me. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't all the time. So the reason I say that, I'm sorry I fucked up. I'm a little drunk. Yeah. The reason I say that is because when Maddy, in the opening scenes, when she's like pretending, she's watching porn and she's like faking all of her orgasms and like practicing, that was Paige Blazer in high school. I was very like tutorial. I was like learning. Mm-hmm. I was replicating and then getting praise.
Yep.
So all I'm saying is I relate to Kat, I relate to Maddy, I relate to Rue. Like, it's all the same. It's all under the same umbrella of the girls always faking it. So guys in high school, if you're listening, your girl is most likely fucking faking it.
Probably.
But so yeah, then we got her history.
My favorite part of the history is that she's like, I gave like hand jobs to like these certain guys. And like 3 or 4 of those guys look like they're probably about like 7 years old, like, which is very accurate, like, because middle schoolers really do look like that. Like,
they're not in middle school.
When I was
but they're not in middle school.
That's what she said. She said in middle school I gave hand jobs to like 4 dudes. You're right. I mean, when I was a freshman in high school, I looked like I was about 11 years old, so
yeah,
it makes sense. But like, God, is there anything less hot than giving a blowjob to like a 7-year-old looking like middle schooler?
Wouldn't you also agree? I didn't think of this till now, but wouldn't you also agree that a Euphoria cast really well, and that none of the high schoolers look like they could be in college?
Yeah, because they're all actually about the right age.
Yes.
They just, like, gave up on the bullshit where everybody casts, like, 30-year-olds as, like, high schoolers.
Yes, but I'm saying I didn't think of that. We didn't mark that as a note to talk about, but I definitely think that's important to bring up. Because, like, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, they always pick, like, these 30-year-old people to play high schoolers. Mm-hmm. So I think that makes Euphoria even that more special, is that they actually pick people that are, like, relate to that.
They did a good job picking people that look the age they're supposed to be playing for the most part. Agree.
So then we move on. They essentially exchange sex stories, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's funny. Then in that little montage of Rue's little sex exchange. We get Lexi and Rue making out, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. A lot of fans are very involved in this because we've talked about it so much, but fans really do think Lexi and Rue are like, they think they want to fuck.
I still don't buy it. This scene to me is just further evidence. Like it doesn't seem like there's much like hot tension there. It just seems like a classic like kind of weird awkward moment where you're like, remember that one time I tried to teach you how to French kiss and it was weird, and you're like, yeah. Like,
well, they might be exploring their sexual orientation. I agree with you. I'm one of those.
Neither of them seems like they're like hot and like into it in that moment though.
Yes and no. I'm on the brink. I don't think Lexi loves. I think love is a very strong word. I think she might kind of have a crush on Rue. Maybe a friend crush even.
Disagree.
I don't know. We'll talk about, I don't know.
Anyways.
I mean, I think it's important to bring up. It's a huge conspiracy amongst a lot of fans.
I'm sure this is a big kickoff moment for the conspiracy.
A lot of fans think in season 2 they're going to unravel like Lexi's love for Rue. I do not think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't buy it.
Do you think she's bi, Lexi?
I don't think we have even close to enough points of reference to have even a vague idea of Lexi's sexual orientation.
True. Agreed. 100%. So with that being said, I think we should move on.
So then we move on to the police station where they brought Maddy in because they're like, yeah, your mom's pressing charges. We gotta like
she throws coffee at the window. She's losing her
Maddie's
shit.
losing her shit. She's like, you're not gonna like.
She's like, fuck you, bitch. Come and try and take off my clothes and handcuff me.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, we will. So then they handcuff her to a table and cut her clothes off and take pictures of her, which is all very traumatic, but also, like, that cop is very right. She's like, trust me, I know you don't believe this now, which of course she doesn't, but, like, the person that did this to you does not love you. Very true.
Which is a huge Olivia Benson moment. And if you little followers don't know, Olivia Benson is in Law and Order. Little followers.
You small followers.
My cute little euphorians.
They might be big followers. I don't know.
If you don't know, Law and Order SVU is one of the other best shows in the world. There's like 25 fucking seasons. So, immerse yourselves. It's a great quarantine watch. But anyways.
We watch a lot of SVU around here.
We really do. And you know what? This episode could not be more Law and Order-esque. It's like, there's this like girl detective who's like, you know what? Like, listen to me. I'm older than you. I'm a cop. I see this shit every day. This guy does not love you.
Yep.
So then
I think that's why we have a lot of like reference to like trauma and victimhood on our podcast. Like we kind of look at it with that angle, and I think it's probably because of SVU.
It is because we watch so much of Law and Order.
We watch a lot of fucking SVU.
The rape, all that stuff. Yeah, it definitely comes from Law and Order. Oh, yeah. So then we go over to the other investigation room, which is Nate. And he throws Maddie under the fucking school bus.
He's fucking ass. Yeah, he's talking about how he loved her and stuff. And it's like, in the same breath, he's selling her out for doing a bunch of drugs and banging a bunch of dudes. And it's like, dude, like, fuck you.
It's awful.
Classic Nate. But yeah, if there was any question about whether Nate loves Maddie, let's review his police interrogation where he says that she was really high and always fucked a bunch of dudes when they weren't together.
It's awful. I mean, it just goes to show it does really eliminate any empathy for Nate and he has no emotion. Once again, just no emotion. He
doesn't give a fuck about it.
There's not an ounce of care for Maddie.
If he was being pressured by Cal to do this, it would be very sad. But he's very like, this is him. This is him. No one knows that Maddie was high in that sequence but him. He's all about this. He loves it.
Cal didn't tell him to say that. Cal didn't know Maddie was on drugs.
Of course not. And Nate's also a fucking terrible liar in this sequence, which I think means that he's feeling the heat a little bit. Because usually he's a pretty good liar. But he's clearly like not on his game.
Not at all. So then we kind of skip forward. Rue's in her Alcoholic Anonymous class or whatever it is.
Narcotics analysis.
Anonymous. And Ollie, she kind of gives this little speech, and I told Alex, like, I get emotional every time. I literally almost cried again. I cry all the time during Euphoria. But I got kind of sad because in her speech, she essentially says, like, she hopes that her and Jules last forever, but she's like, but if we don't, like, that'll really fucking suck. Like, I know it's not likely, but, like, I wish it could be the case. And that for me is really hard to swallow because it's just so hard as a high schooler. Like, you're so caught up in it and you're so in love and your emotions are so high. So for her as an addict, it's even more like, it's like magnified by 10. So that scene's just very vulnerable. And Rue never really exposes her feelings. So for her to do that in a room as like a public speech. Are you talking about
when she's talking to Ollie or when she's at the...
She's giving the speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about when she gives the speech. She's like, I fucked you all over. I've never told the truth. Now I am. I met this girl.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yep.
then you said it debunks the theory of Ali being a ghost.
I don't know if it fully debunks it, but she talks about, she mentions Ali by name and kind of like gestures to him in the crowd, and no one acts like that's weird. Whereas if he was just invisible, everyone would be like, what the fuck is she talking about? Who's Ali? Who's she looking at?
If he was a ghost,
no one really reacts, so no. I don't buy this he's not a ghost thing. But yeah, Ali and Rue also have a little convo at the diner. Yeah. And he's basically giving her.
Well, this is earlier in the episode, but yeah, they have a conversation.
He's giving her the like more intense version of what Rue's mom said, where he's basically like, "This won't last. Like, this is a high school relationship. It won't last." Which is hard. Like, if I were there, I'd be like, Ali, like, dog. Like, we all know we're older. Like, we know that it's probably not gonna last, but like, you gotta ease up on it. You gotta take it easy. Like, you don't crush her dreams. Don't crush the romance. Don't crush the like.
Or don't crush it.
It's a beautiful thing. Don't crush it. Let it happen.
But let her experience it for herself. Let her.
Yeah, she'll learn.
Let her fall. If that's really what you think and that's the case, like, let her learn and fall. It's just too much. Yeah,
you can do kind of like what Rue's mom did and kind of try to like help her through it and like prep her for it a little bit. But Ali's like very harsh and is just like, high school relationships don't last. And it's like, well, one in like a million does, and like maybe this one will. And even if it doesn't, like, you don't have to like come down so ham on this.
Yeah,
like,
it's a little harsh.
Let them have their like magical high school romance for a minute.
So then we have a really cute scene where Jules and her dad are at sushi, which we don't really need to go too in depth, but like, we both stan Jules' dad.
He's looks very good again.
Such a good character. She looks
Jules'
great.
dad is great.
She looks great. Her fashion's great, but also like, Jules' dad is so awesome. He's like really cute and like is like, hey, like, when are you gonna invite Rue to dinner? And she's kind of like, you know, like, buzz off, dad, which is how I am. Like, she's not rude, but she's just like, dad, shut up.
She should invite Rue to dinner with them though. That'd be very nice.
But then her dad plants the seed. He literally plants the first seed of where Jules starts to kind of shift her feelings towards Rue. I think before her dad even said this, I think she was still kind of like excited about her and Rue's little like whatever they did in bed. We don't know. But I think she was just riding the high of that. And then her dad was like, is Rue still going to meetings? And then he was like, that's great. Like, you're such a good influence. And anyone knows something like that can literally, anyone that's like normal knows that can weigh on you because you're like, I don't want to be the reason someone's sober. So then we move on.
He's one of a bunch of people in this episode putting kind of like some heat on Jules. Lexi does the same thing.
Lexi does the same thing in the roller rink.
But basically, Jules is hearing from a couple different people that, like, she's the reason Rue is doing well, the reason Rue's not on drugs, the reason Rue's not killing herself. And naturally, for a high school kid, that is a fucking ton of pressure. And Jules starts to, like, kind of, like, feel the pressure, and she kind of starts to, like, collapse under it. Like, she's feeling it. She is not doing well. At the end of this episode, she is stressed the fuck out. Rue's, like, sleeping in her arms, but she is clearly, like, very stressed. Because she feels like Rue's life pretty much depends on her at this point.
Which is like you just said. You said it. It's a lot of pressure.
And to all those people telling her that, it's like, we all know it. We all see it. But you got to keep your mouth shut.
Once again, like, just...
don't say it.
Or not...
You can't say it.
Not even... but just, like, if you are going to bring it up, like, in terms of, like, caring for her, do it like Rue's mom did. Be like, hey, like, listen... Love that you and Rue are like kicking it off, but just be careful. Like, she's gone through a lot. Tread slow. So then we have we cannot not talk about the roller rink scene. This is iconic. This is Rue's way of making amends with Lexi. She invites her out. She's like, hey, come out with me and Jules. We're gonna have a girls' night. Like, we're gonna roller rink it up. So they roller rink. We've got the great neon lighting. We've got the outfits are all phenomenal. All three of them look absolutely great.
A killer Santa Gold song.
Killer Santa Gold song. One of our favorites. Definitely the music song of the week for me, at least. We'll talk about it later. But like, such a good scene. So all having fun, all having a great time. Ooh, I'm just at the mic.
After watching this episode, I plan to take Paige to the classic shitty roller rink in my hometown called Golden Skate, where I was like, let's smoke a joint in the parking lot. Let's like bring a flask. Let's get fucked up. Let's go to Golden Skate. And it was closed forever.
That's really sad. Wait, they closed it like it was just went bankrupt, or?
It was out of business.
Oh, I don't remember that.
That's why I thought we
just couldn't go. I thought they were just closed for the season.
Oh no, we would have gone. They didn't exist anymore. Oh. It was gone. It was an empty like warehouse.
Well, whatever. R.I.P. I mean, R.I.P. But listen, they're having this great night. The roller rink is such a great like scene, and this is where, like we said, Lexi kind of puts the nail in the coffin. She's like, Jules, you're the reason that Rue's like doing so well.
Yeah.
Jules breaks down. It's awful.
Yep.
I love the scene of them riding their bikes on the way home. It's very like slow-mo, fun, but you also can sense the tension between Jules and Rue, because Rue's like not stupid. She can sense that something's up.
Yep.
But she's like trying to just act natural, which I appreciate Rue for. Then after that,
Jules has a great orange sweater in that scene also.
Oh, she also wears the best Alexander Wang top during the roller rink. Like underneath the sweater, she's got the girl's top. It's Alexander Wang. It's iconic.
Nice. I didn't even notice that.
You didn't?
No, I missed that one.
That's why Alexander Wang like loves Euphoria and is always like talking about it. He sources a lot of the clothing for the show.
That. Also, just prior to the roller rink scene, we get the return of Snake Bites. Kat's boy from the mall.
We do.
Kat brings her little boy from the mall out to the loading docks, and they have a little moment. He turns out to be a pretty good dude. Like, I'm sorry I was so harsh on Snake Bites earlier. He's kind of trying to actually talk with her. He's not trying to like be like, let's have sex. Like, let me pressure you. But
he's then like talking about music and stuff.
She like plays the male role in that situation. Is like, let's have sex. Like, nah.
I know.
And he's like, all right, because obviously he is like about it, but like,
and it's a huge bummer because she like goes to give him a blowjob, and Alex and I were both laughing because it's like she comes up so flawlessly with like nothing on her mouth, looking like clean and fresh as fuck, and it's like no.
Yeah, that's an unrealistic BJ.
Yeah,
just gonna say it.
College,
unrealistic.
high school, adult, it doesn't matter. A BJ never ends in a flawless like you come up and you're like looking great and your makeup's perfect.
It also lasted like a minute, like.
Yeah, so that was a funny scene, but also that's a good scene I'm glad you mentioned that because that's kind of where, like you said, we leave off with Kat kind of like on the brink of trying to figure out like where is she at? Is she like confident with this whole like I just give guys BJs in the parking lot, or is she like I want to be with someone like Ethan and kind of go that more mellow like real relationship?
Yeah,
like,
this is kind of like the next step after the casting. It's more like meaningless sex.
Yeah,
but we don't know. Is it working for her? I don't know. We'll see.
So then we get obviously this great scene where Cal reintroduces, first of all, cooked champagne, which we're drinking right now. Brings it in. He's down for motel round 2.
Cal is back at the motel.
Holiday Inn.
Yep, he's back. He's got another boy coming through, another girl. This time it is Monaco, who says, "My name's Monaco, but the boys all call me Mina."
Mina, like,
which is great. Fuck? So I guess Cal can call him Mina. But
also, we stand this character. He is so fun. He or she, I don't know, whatever. The character, Monaco, I love is Monaco. Hilarious.
One of my favorite side characters on the show, along with like Ashtray and some of the other like randos.
They're so great. I mean, literally the whole scene is so funny. He like gets out that chain.
Comes in, whips off the chain, immediately puts like shitty rap music on the iPhone and starts like twirling the chain around, got the legs in the air, like
he's ready to rumble.
Offering Cal poppers, like what
a great character. But then Cal kind of honestly is King Buzzkill, ruins it because he's like, I would rather talk about like my family life, and then you can tell Monaco's like eye roll, oh my god, but he's also like has a heart, so he's like, okay, I'll listen to this bullshit, but also like, can we fuck and then be done? Yeah,
Cal does the classic, like, I'm with a sex worker just for like the therapy. Not that Monaco's a sex worker, but Cal pulls that classic move, like,
yeah,
he's I'm here for the therapy, bang. Not for the banging. So Monaco's like, yeah, all right, I'm just gonna smoke some crack, like.
Listen to you talk about
to smoke some crack.
And listen to you talk about your boys.
Yep. While Cal serves the cook's champagne up again. Plastic glasses, same bottle, back at his old routine. You know.
He definitely has a routine, and this is where you learn his routine's the same every time because he has the cook. Like you said, it's like very methodical. Mm-hmm. It's like he's got the cooks in the corner. He's like, "Can I offer you a glass?" He says all the same shit. It's all scripted.
He stops at the grocery store on the way to that motel every time and buys that bottle of cooks and those shitty plastic glasses.
I love it. So Monaco's just a great character, but also Monaco sits there and listens. But then at a certain point, Monaco's like, "Okay, can we like be done? And like, can we fuck this out?"
Cal's like, "Do you think it like affects my kids that I like hide this part of my life?"
And you know what I thought when he said that? No, you know what I thought when he said, "Does this affect my kids?" You know what I thought?
What'd you think?
I thought, what about little Beans?
Ugh.
Where's little son Beans?
How has your sex life impacted Beans, Cal?
Your youngest son that's never shown in the show.
He's probably dead because of it.
I mean, that's really morbid for you to say.
Beans must be dead. Beans has to be dead. There's no way he's not dead.
I know, they never talk about him. There's a lot of Reddit theories, which maybe we'll go into in another episode, but like for me personally, I'm just like, where the fuck is this little son? It's driving me crazy. I'm like, where's the little son? Where's the little Jacobs?
Yeah. Also, this scene's a really great argument for just embracing, like, your true self and being who you are, because Monaco is, like...
Fully embracing.
He's like, everyone knows, like, who I am. Like, I don't hide
He's
it.
proud.
There's no, like, bullshit. Like, I'm Monaco. I'm out, like, doing my thing. This is who I am.
I'm
living
whipping
my
my
best
chain around.
life.
Yeah.
Like, and whereas Cal hiding all this shit, having all these, like, fucked up, like, weird scenarios and secrets and stuff, it's obviously fucking up his family and his own life. He's like, where do you think... He's like, my son has so much rage. It's like, yeah, where the fuck do you think that came from?
I know.
It's your fault. Duh,
I know.
dummy.
Here they try to... I feel like they always try and redeem, like, Cal's behaviors and just, like, his weird fucking ways. But it's like, you know what? You're an adult. Take some fucking ownership. You don't need to sit here and chat with Monaco about, like, this shit. Like, you should just already know this shit. Like, you're an adult. Figure it out. So, yeah,
Yep.
I'm over Cal.
So Cal dips. He drives his big man truck away, and here comes Nate
in his
big
truck.
man truck to meet up with Maddie. Like, of course they both drive trucks.
Also,
like,
who the
God.
fuck thinks a truck is, like, manly or hot or, like, confident? Like, trucks are such...
Classic.
Trucks are trash for me.
At least Cal is an excuse. He's in construction. The bed of that truck probably sees some usage every once in a while. There's no fucking reason Nate should be driving a truck. Like,
No.
I'm sorry.
No, and
Yeah.
no. And if a guy ever picked me up in a truck, that's an immediate, like, red flag.
A little
I'm
bit
like, they probably listen to country, and they're probably a big douchebag. So, yeah, not up for the truck life. Then I was laughing because at the end of this, like, intense scene where Cal's spilling his heart, Randy Newman comes in singing like a very Toy Story song.
Oh yeah.
The music is, and I don't want to shit on it. It's great.
It's
love
a very
Randy.
sad song.
I love Randy Newman. Well, it's a sad scene.
Yeah.
The whole episode is very sad. It's very like, it alludes to like the very end scene where Jules is very stressed about Rue. So it all makes sense. But it literally reminds me of Toy Story 2. It's a I can't not think of Toy Story.
Good old Randy Newman.
So on that note, I mean, other than Toy Story ending the episode,
all I have to say is that motel do be seeing a lot of Jacob's family semen, though. The Jacobs family
true, 'cause
are
Nate's
keeping
fucking
that
Maddie.
motel in business, and their bodily fluids are all over that fucking place.
ew.
And that's
Also,
it.
no, Cooks is also running that
Cooks
hotel.
too, yeah.
Cooks is
Cooks
like,
is keeping them in business. So yeah, there we go. There's episode 5. As usual, recently...
we just went through a lot of shit. I'm like thinking about this episode, and that was a lot. Like, this was
It's a weird episode.
This was a more heavy episode.
It's a weird one.
It's a little weird. Like, it was hard to, like, poke fun at.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
But we still somehow found a way, and I mean,
we'll poke fun at anything, but...
and we probably said so many inappropriate things, but, like, we don't give a fuck. That's why we're here.
Whatever.
So, you know what? It is now time for superlatives. Superlatives.
All right.
Best dressed.
Jules, all the way. Even more so than last week, I think this is where it comes together for Jules. Every outfit she had on in this episode was killer, and I think she looks the hottest she's looked in the whole show in this one.
I would agree. The scene with her and Principal Hayes, the blue shirt, the half purple hair.
When she's at sushi with her dad,
eyes.
she looks great. It's all good.
The roller rink, amazing. Yep.
All good.
For worst dressed, I said Maddie, but like Alex was very like, Paige, you can't pick Maddie because she's like a victim. She just got choked by Nate. I agree. That's really fucked up of me to say she's the worst dressed, but like, sorry. Maddie was the worst dressed. She looked rough as fuck, and after reading that article that they purposely made her look like shit, then I'm sorry. I'm here to say Maddie looked like shit in this episode. Not in the beginning, but when, after, there were a couple parts where she looked like the Unabomber.
I originally did not choose Maddie out of, like, she's got choked, like, and she's on her period and stuff. It seemed like a cheap shot, but Paige was like, we're gonna be that objective and that harsh. So there you go. I mean, I can't say it's not Maddie. She looks like the Unabomber.
Low-key, also, I couldn't think of anybody else. I was just being lazy as fuck.
Well, there you go.
Then we have Bae of the episode. We both decided on Rue.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rue, this whole episode, truly, not only is she sober, and she goes to alcohol analysis, whatever the fuck.
Narcotics Anonymous.
I can never remember the name. But she goes there. She's vulnerable. She tells the truth. She's also, like, very chill with Jules, even though Jules is kind of overreacting. She's being a very supportive friend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, whatever label they are right now. She's very supportive. She amends things with Lexi. They have a great night. So Rue's really killing
Rue
this
makes
episode.
some big steps. She's handling everyone telling her that the thing with Jules isn't going to last pretty well.
She's very mature.
She makes those steps with Lexi. Like, she's definitely, like, moving in the right direction.
She is. Then we've got big purple rat
Dirty
bastard.
rat bastard.
Always Nate.
Obviously, it's Nate.
We don't even need to say why. He choked Maddy.
Yeah.
That's it.
And a million other reasons. He throws her under the bus to the cops.
He's
Whatever.
just a piece of shit.
How about the class clown?
Monaco.
I got Monaco. I love the way
Monaco?
Monaco gets up in there and just is ready to rock and roll. Whips the chain off. Shitty rap on the iPhone.
But he also has a great outfit.
Let's go.
He does have a funny outfit. He has a
Monaco's very
metallic
cute.
skirt. Yeah.
Monaco's hot. Like,
Monaco is hot.
I'm not sure if Monaco identifies as a he or a she or something else, but
Yeah,
Monaco's got it going on. I'm about it. Comes in hot and ready to rock and roll.
You and I are never
ready
here to be that political.
Ready to smoke crack and like whip chains and fuck Eric Dane. Like,
And Eric Dane, yeah, and he's down to drink the cooks. Eric Dane hands
He's
him
down for the cooks.
Oh, actually, no. You know what?
What?
Oh my god, I just realized. Monaco rejects the cooks, I think.
Maybe I like Monaco a little less now.
We still love him. Also, I'm sure if we sent him a bottle to be on the podcast, he would graciously accept. Then our couple of the week, this was a tough call because there really isn't a strong couple in this episode. Everyone's kind of going through their roller coaster of emotions, but we picked rules because of like the tattoo scene. We do feel like up until people were like really pushing Jules to the edge, we definitely both agreed that like Rue and Jules were doing well.
Yeah.
Or not well, but like they're very natural, they're very mature, they're having a good time together.
Until everyone gets in Jules' head, things are going great.
Exactly.
Very cute.
So I think that's fair to say that they're the best couple.
Yet again, it's rules.
Yeah.
And then song of the week, I think we both went with Santa Gold. Despite
Santa
the great
Gold.
Madonna song.
What is it, Run the Road?
Yeah, let's Run the World. Or
Run the Road is...
the Santa Gold song when they're at the roller rink.
It's at the roller rink. It's a great song. We'll definitely plug it in our Spotify playlist. It really is a banger. I'm here for it. It's definitely one of my favorites. So we're here to end the episode. We went a little over this time, but honestly, there was like so much tea to spill. There was so many interesting things about Nate and Maddy. I definitely on our post, I definitely want to hear from all of our Euphorians. Like, what are your thoughts? Do we love Maddy? Do we hate Maddy? Do we understand why their relationship's so toxic? Like, there are so many questions. So I think I'm going to do a little trivia poll this week. I just want to get all of our fans and listeners. I want to get all the feels. I don't know about you, Alex, but I want to get all the feels.
Get those
feels.
feels.
It's a deep episode. So going into next week, I want to hear what you all think. Don't forget it. We've got an Instagram. We've got a Twitter. We've got a Facebook. We've got a YouTube channel. We have everything. We're on Anchor. We're on Spotify. We're about to be on Apple. Don't ask. It's taking a little longer than we expected, but we will be on Apple soon. So please, 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 I will plug everything on our Instagram. Please listen. We are just so appreciative of y'all. We hope you're enjoying. And oh my God, do we have such a good episode for you next week. So please stay tuned. Love each other. Enjoy your quarantine. Get fucked up. Enjoy your 420. Anything else, Alex? Like anything to shout to the masses?
No, that's it.
That's
all
it.
I gotta say is
I feel like we need to cheers. This is our 5th episode. We only have what, a total of 8?
yeah, we got 3 more official episodes of the show. We'll have more for you after that, but
Of course, but 8
Yeah.
actual episodes.
Yep.
Cheers.
All right, that's so euphoric.
That is so euphoric.